Hello all, and today we're going to be talking about what Peter Griffin did during the American Civil War. Now the reason I'm making this video is because, like a lot of you, I saw that Peter Griffin was going to be added to Fortnite, and I saw the trailer and everything. My immediate reaction, like many gamers when I saw this, was that I miss my father and I wish he would come back, but also that, in the trailer we don't really get to see, how did he become this gunsmith master. And well, back in when I was a professor in the 70s at Hamburger, Germany, we were taught that context is key. And so, we didn't really get to see a lot of that. Like, to quote a former president, I believe it was Eisenhower during the Second World War, he said that, he was really skibbity toileting them goons with a high rizzy tizzy turnover. Now, we didn't really see a lot of that context wise. So, I felt like, with the exception of Missouri, I do the country a favor in looking into his history and saying, why he became this training he received and how he was able to join the Fortnite. So let's get into it. Now, much like these goggles, Peter's origins aren't really known. Historians estimate that he was born between the year 500 BC and 1720. And now after that is when things they get it a little bit clearer. But much like a 5'4" man at the school dance, I was coming up short, and I knew I was going to need some help. So luckily, while I was browsing the funny Black and Orange website, I saw a link to the Peter Griffin Historical Society located in the West, and they gave me all these documents that say much about his military history. So I guess that's what we'll talk about this next. So to begin his Civil War career, as we were taught in middle school, he was assigned to the 26th Georgian Infantry, and according to these documents that I was provided, he didn't last very long. He joined in March of 1862, and then left in August 1862, the same year. Now I have a reason why. This says, now I don't speak Southern, so this translation is a little bit off, but it says, I certify that I have carefully examined Peter Griffin and found him to be incapable of performing the duties of a soldier due to, and I can't read, I'm just going to say this is syphilis. I think that's a good bet, because this is before he met Lois. That happened in 2001, as we all know. But here's a period accurate photograph depiction of him that I discovered in my research. Of course, you can see he's wearing everything that would have been issued at that time. Now, Peter was, of course, greatly saddened by this, that he was unable to continue, and so he decided to go back to his ancestral homeland in the Northeast, where he found himself being able to join the 12th New Hampshire Infantry, as a matter of fact, and he was sent to the Battle of the Crater. Now, what's interesting about this battle is that it took place in the summer of 1864, and the crater was because a mine exploded. Now, what historians often don't tell you, and that I figured out, was Peter was in the epicenter of this explosion. Now, I think he was trying to find his dog or something right that, but I'll just do a little demonstration here. Now, this is based on a photograph, so you see this is the mine and this is Peter, and historians often fight about where he ended up. Now, this battle, if my math checks out, took place in the Philippines, and so that would place him roughly like 10 miles east, west, north, and all that. So he was sent there, and now this is where, of course, the legend of Peter Griffin truly shines after this. And so after this explosion, he actually ended up in New York. Now, I know a lot of people think it takes place in Connecticut, but they are wrong. And so I discovered this there's a newspaper I found, and it's going to sound pretty familiar. It's this guy who got attacked by 3 people, one of which he identified as Peter Griffin being chased by police. Now, I don't know about you, but 3 guys and a police officer, I mean, the story, it writes itself, and which is when filming first began. And so, when we see this, You know, there's a reason why U.S. history is divided in between pre and post PETA. And, you know, it's one of the biggest things that's happened in history, only second to Brian's death and the Bite of 87, of course. And so, you know, while his time in the Civil War was brief, it really was, he left a lasting impact on society, as everyone knows. So as I've laid it out for you, you know, it's clear that without the Civil War, there could have been no Peter, and without Peter, there could have been no Civil War. And now, so it made him the man he became. And I have his memoirs here. I'd like to share something with you. Now, I said I'd go into a little about the Georgia infantry, and that's what I'm going to do. In Matthew 7:7, he states that I will forever enjoy my time in the Georgian infantry. Is that being in that unit with those men is what really made me a family guy. And that's powerful. Now, of course, Peter would go on to live many lives, and unfortunately, in 1916, he died at the age of season 22. And you know, this video is mainly just to clear up some things, so when you hop on Fortnite with the Peter, you will get a better appreciation of his role in American history. So yeah, this video was dumb. Sorry.